death penalty at times may be a lengthy process, but all who encounter it deserve the punishment.
Some people cannot reach rehabilitation, so corporal punishment is the best possible way of reaching justice.
Corporal punishment is an effective deterrent because it causes one never to be able to commit the crime again, and may also change the mindset of potential criminals.
If the death penalty were to be non-existent, the population of prisons would increase greatly over time, causing prison overpopulation.
Having corporal punishment can keep the prison population at a more steady number.
Hotspur says that justice depends on how one has acted in the past.
He also says that the consequence depends on the crime committed.
If someone takes another person's life, the murderer deserves to die.
The government has the ability to create laws about the death penalty for the bettering of a community.
Locke said that punishment shall be equally deserved to the crime committed.
Because man violates law by committing crimes, it declares human nature within itself.
In other words, if a man commits murder, he deserves the death penalty as an equal punishment.
Another positive aspect of the death penalty is that it creates comfort for the victim.
People who are emotionally scarred would feel much safer knowing that the convicted wasn't living anymore.
In the case of Stephen Hayes versus Connecticut, Hayes was sentenced to death for the murder of 3 people. One of the murder victim's sisters said that she felt like if any crime ever called for the death penalty, this probably did. A juror in the case said, if this wasn't the case to use that tool on, then we never really had a case. The crimes were so over the top that the death penalty was really the only imaginable punishment.
There are people in our world that have committed repulsive and inhumane crimes that the death penalty is the most effective punishment to keep society safer.
The clip we're about to watch here is of a government official who is pro-death penalty.
The toughest challenges that I ever faced as a governor was carrying out the death penalty. I did it more than any other governor ever had to do it in my state. As I look on this stage, I'm pretty sure that I'm the only person on this stage that's ever had to actually do it. Let me tell you, it was the toughest decision I ever made as a human being. I read every page of every document, of every case that ever came before me, because it was the one decision that came to my desk that once I made it, it was irrevocable. Every other decision somebody else could go back and overturn, could fix if it was a mistake. That was one. It was irrevocable. I believe there is a place for a death penalty. Some crimes are so heinous, so horrible, that the only response that we as a civilized nation have for a most uncivil action is not only to try to deter that person from ever committing that crime again, but also as a warning to others that some crimes truly are beyond any other capacity for us to fix. Now, having said that, there are those who say, how can you be pro-life and believe in a death penalty? Because there's a real difference between the process of adjudication, where a person is deemed guilty after a thorough judicial process and is put to death by all of us as citizens under a law, as opposed to an individual making a decision to terminate a life that has never been deemed guilty because the life never was given a chance to even exist.
Governor,
that's the fundamental difference.
I do have to, though.